Are you ready for some ooey gooey cheesy goodness? I hope y'all are hungry. This one's gonna be a doozy. It's a multi-step, multi-layer. This one might seem a little daunting, but it's not bad. You could do it. I got faith in you. We're making stuffed shells. Personally, I think it's kind of an impressive meal. You want to serve it to the new boo thing, or trying to impress somebody's family, the parents. You show it with a tray of stuffed shells. They'll let you in that door, arms wide open, like, They might be reaching for that pan before they give you a hug, though, so be forewarned on that. Use the old muscle grease today. Make it pretty with a little bit of green hit in there. Make it pretty. Strong, real marinated flavor. Makes you go, Like, who votes against garlic bread? This is some cheesy magnificence.
I'm telling you, go ahead and make it. This is a marry me meal if I've ever seen one.
Hello. Hope y'all doing good. Today, I got a, what would you call it? I don't want to say it's a special meal, but it takes a little time, a little bit of work. There's some steps to it. Stuffed shells. Yeah. It's an Italian dish. Fun fact, at one point in my life, I thought I was Italian. My grandmother was adopted till we did that 23andMe. Womp, womp, womp. I'm not Italian and Greek. I'm German and British. Who knew? My life changed. So I can't claim this meal is from my homeland, but it's still a fun meal to make. I guess it's Italian-esque. Basically, you just get your stuffed shells. I don't know where they're at right now. I'll have to grab them. And you boil them. And you stuff them full of ricotta. Slap on some sauce and cheese, and you're good to go. But the first step, so this one is a little time consuming. I guess you don't have to do this, but I like to make up my ricotta first into a bowl and then fridge it. At least 30 minutes to a couple hours. You could do it overnight if you want some strong, real marinated flavor. Makes you go, Totally Italian style. But let's get to it. Looks like I got 2 pounds. 2 pounds of ricotta. Normally I only do 1, but I hear this freezes well. Maybe I'll make up some extra stuffed shells and freeze them for my sister. Does she deserve it? Yeah, I guess so. She's a good sister. I'm just playing. You've made it this far. What are you doing? Like, comment, and subscribe. I got the 2-pounder, about 8 ounces of cheese. And I'll go on with the double dog. I'm gonna do 2 eggs. You just need some garlic powder, some salt, a little bit of pepper, maybe some parsley if you want that nice little, make it pretty with a little bit of green hit in there. So it comes out like the Italian flag, green, white, and red, because the red sauce, white, and the green. All right, I'll shut up. Let's get to it. I just whip this up, then I'm gonna fridge it, and then you just wait. Or if you want, you could just go ahead and keep the process going. Whip this all together, and then get to your boiling your shells, but those gotta cool for a little bit. So pack your patience, guys. Hang on with me, come hang out. Hope your day's going good, and let's get to it. Side note, I don't know if this video is gonna come out first or my tomato gardening video, but look at these sapsuckers we just picked. Those heirlooms. Whoo, bunch of cherries in there. That big beauty right there. And I accidentally pulled these off too soon. Sorry, guys. Well, let's see if they'll ripen up, or see if I can make me some fried green tomatoes. All right, back to the action. And. Whippy. And honestly, this bowl is probably too small. But it's the only one I have with a lid right now. So let's see how it goes. Come on, get in there. It's gonna be tight fit. I'm gonna get a fork. That's not a fork. All right, let me just bust him up a little bit. So this is probably easier with a food processor. You just do that little ram. But I just like kind of spread that out. And now we're going with 2 eggerinos. Pop me an egg. Remember, be careful with your eggs. These things are like liquid gold these days. Oh my God, that shell's trying to get in there. I do not want any shells in my eggs. Stay out of there. Come on out. It did. It went. Get back here. That was a close one. That was a close one. All right. Next egg. Going in. Don't give me a difficult time this time, please. All right. All right. Rinse these hands. I touch them eggs. And we're gonna want a generous amount of this Parmesan cheese. I'm just gonna pour the rest of that in there. I don't know if this is the proper step, but we've always just we added in some mozzarella. So we'll pour about 4 ounces in there. It might have been 5. Salt. You want a decent amount of salt. That's about a good shake. You could always add more. Can't take it out. And garlic powder. Can you see it? Can you see it? There we go. I like a hefty amount of garlic. So give it a good sprinkle. And just for some color, make it a little bit beautiful, add in some parsley. This doesn't really have much taste, so you can go as much or as little as you like. You can do none if you want. I like to put it in there. Gives you something to look at. And at this point, it's just whippy, whippy, whippy. Wow, this bowl's too small. So if you had that little you could use it at this point. That thing gets on my nerves though, it's so loud. I just whip it, and then you'll just see how it tastes after you whip it together. Taste it again, see if it needs more salt. Ooh, I didn't add any pepper. I'll probably add a little pepper to it as well. You just want to get this just mixed up, really, and that's about it. Just whippy, whippy, whippy. And add as much as or as little of the rest of the stuff that you want. We'll get a little pepper in there. Pepper, pepper, pepper. Ooh, that was probably too much. Good thing we like pepper around here. Whip, 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 whip. And then you'll just give it a little taste after you whip it a little bit. Let's see. Give me a little taste. I think I need a little more garlic. Salt's about right. I like a lot of garlic in mine, but it's up to you guys how much you like. Hit more parsley. Hopefully you still see this. Check my camera. And just for giggles, add a little more salt. That salt's about empty. Okay. There is salt in the Parmesan, so it does get salty that way. Or you could use like a garlic salt. And then also once it marinates and sits for a while, the flavors kind of like get married. So even if it doesn't taste like super garlicky now or super salty, it might taste a little bit later if you are going to let this sit out for a little bit. Or not sit out, but sit in the fridge. So you don't want to get too crazy. Just get it how you like it. Salt's good. Could use a little more garlic, but I think I'm just going to let it sit. And I'll test it again in a couple hours. All right, so this is gonna be a delayed video. I'll come back, put this in the fridge, and I'll see you guys later. And back. Not gonna go too crazy. I'm not cooking my own sauce today. I'm just gonna use this jar. Classico, fire roasted tomato and garlic. That's just too much work. It's like 8 o'clock now, 7:53. Made my ricotta earlier. If you can see, I recorded that. So hopefully I put all my information in there, and you know, it's a good clip. So the next step is boiling the shells. So you want to get your shells, you're going to boil them up. You're going to make them like till al dente. I think it's usually the same, like 10 minutes or so. 8 to 10 minutes you boil them. But then you got to let them, after you pour them off, you got to let them cool a little bit. Let me push this back. I feel too close. You got to let them cool a little bit because you're going to be stuffing them shells. And you don't want to burn your hands up, you know. So, next step we're getting into, we just got to get a big old pot, fill it with some water, put some salt in there, bring it to a boil. Boil, put these shells in, bloop, 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 10 minutes or so, pour them off, let them cool. And then the fun part, we get to that next step, that next level. We get to start building it. And all right, this is the gist of it. You get a pan. We'll put a little layer of sauce down so the shells don't burn. Then we slap that ricotta in there. Set them up all nice and pretty. Pour the remaining sauce on. Then you let them bake. You can add cheese on top. Sometimes I add it like the last 10 minutes or so just because I don't want it to burn. And that's the gist of it. Let's go. And this one might seem a little daunting, but it's not bad. You could do it. I got faith in you. It's just a couple of steps. couple of steps. Once you knock them down, once you've done it a couple times, you're good to go, like a golden goose. All right, I got my burner up to high. I filled my pot about halfway of the water. I don't know, it's about halfway. And then you're just gonna add some salt. You always gotta add a little salt to your pasta to flavor it. And if you gotta add more than you think, really. I like to add a generous amount, about like that. But you can't be scared of this meal. It can sound a little daunting. I think it's easier personally than lasagna because you got like a lot of layers and you got more of a meat sauce. Well, I guess you don't have to put a meat sauce. So this one's vegetarian friendly, I think. Other than the eggs, I mean, that'd be more vegan if you don't like the eggs, but it's not so bad. Even manicotti is harder because the manicotti is like a tube. So it's like shoop, shoop, shoop. It's kind of hard to put it in there. These shells, once you cook them, they pretty much you can fit in the palm of your hand and just bloop, bloop, and you can hold it open. I'll show you, but this one ain't bad. I think you should try it. It's a really good meal. It comes out, it's kind of gourmet, really. You just got to stick with it. And it just depends, because this one takes a little bit of time. If you do marinate, I keep saying marinate, but I like to mix up my ricotta first and throw it in the fridge. So that's probably the most time consuming, just waiting on that. But if you don't have to, so if you whip that up, that's only like 10, 15 minutes. Well, pasta, another 10 to 15 minutes, and you let it cool, and then you stuff them and bake them. So you're looking minimum a good hour and a half. For me, I think I started them like around, I let them marinate. Yeah, put them in there about 4 p.m. It's almost 8, so it's about 4 hours. I think it'll be good. I mean, so I'll quit yapping, but I think you should try this meal if you got the time. Because personally, I think it's kind of an impressive meal. You want to serve it to your new boo thing, or trying to impress somebody's family, the parents. You show it with a tray of stuffed shells. They'll let you in that door, arms wide open, like, They might be reaching for that pan before they give you a hug, though. So be forewarned on that. And then also, if you're going to make your sauce, that's going to bump up some time, too. I mean, it's always better. I guess it's better, more fun. Then you can say you made the whole meal by itself. But usually this jar of sauce, it's not so bad. I mean, when you make it in a meal and it whips up together with all those cheeses, you can't really tell too much difference. I mean, unless you got a super secret personal sauce that you make or enjoy. Sometimes I usually just make my sauce when I'm doing spaghetti. More spaghetti. Like when I'm doing lasagna or stuffed shells, kind of just go with the jar. And then really, I'll have to make a video on how I make my sauce. It's really not that bad, honestly. Usually do with the meat sauce. And it's just cooking it down. You don't always have to cook it. Some people say you have to cook it 4 to 6 hours. I mean, it's pretty good after like 30 minutes to an hour. Cook that meat down with the veggies. Everybody does theirs different, but yeah, I'll have to make a sauce video one day for y'all. Then we can compare it, we can contrast it, see if you hate it, see if you like it, see if you like anything else to add to it. Usually, I just do meatballs, sometimes sausage. I haven't really ventured into doing. Some people put like pork in it, or like a pork shank in there. Shank. I don't think I've tried that before. I mean, making it. I'm sure I've eaten it at some time in my life, but all right. I'm yapping. It's taking a while for this water to come up to boil. All right. It's starting to bubble up a little bit, and I see it steaming, so I'm just going to go ahead and pour it in. I'm going for the full box today. If we have anything left over, I'll just save it for my sister, and I'll freeze it. Ship it over there. There we go. Probably could have put a little more water in there. But I think it'll be all right. Give it a little stir. This will bubble up. I'll check on it. It's 8:02. I'll come back here by maybe 8:10. All right, it's time to get hot and dangerous. 8:10. I think those are al dente. Good to take them off now because they're going to cook in the oven. And they're going to soften them up more. You don't want to get them too hard. You don't want them to fall apart, you know. I mean, you stuff in a shell, it's got to have some gumption to keep the stuffing, right? Something like that. I'll get to it. Hang on. We're getting hot and spicy. Ooh. All right, get rid of this hot pan. Oh, God, that thing's driving me nuts. And then you want to shake, rattle, and roll this one more because they got the, like, it's like pockets basically. So you can just bounce them up and down. I guess to get down here the camera. If you bounce them up and down, they store water more than other pasta. So I just shake them a little bit more. Shaky, 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 shaky. Ooh, my glasses have fogged up. All right. So now these things are gonna hang out a little bit. They gotta cool down. Now depends on how sensitive your grippers are, I guess. At least another 5-10 minutes. Let them cool down. Get you a little, I think I'll use like a 9x13. And we'll I'll show you that. We'll pour a little layer. Boop, 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 boop. And we'll stuff them, pack them, shove them, melt them, bake them, melt them, and eat them. Something like that. Shove them, pack them, melt them, bake them, eat them. All right, here we go. Just hit the oven 350. That's like a common temperature. A lot of stuff is always 350. I don't know why. What's the science behind that 350? Almost everything you bake is 350. I had to go higher sometimes like my potatoes, like 400, 425. Pull the ricotta out. I can smell that garlic. Give me a nice woof of garlic. All right, so it's about time. Let's get building. Sauce. Got my pan over here. Got my nudes. Uh-oh, lost one already. Gotten too excited. Let's stuff some shells. All right, here we go. Saucing like a dolphin. You don't gotta hit it too much. Just enough to coat the bottom. And I'll probably spread it out a little bit better with a spoon. That's about good. Probably use a little too much this time, but that's about half of a jar, 3/4 of a jar. And you just want to spread that out on the bottom so like the noodles sit on the sauce. That's basically the gist of it. Bloop, 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 bloop. Get them nice and saucy so when you stack them in there, they don't get all burnt up, you know? Trying to get the best angle for you to film. And I just set my sauce to the side because we're going to pour sauce over the top. But I just like hold my shell open like that and kind of just like hang on it. And usually it just kind of like just tucks in there. Keep it a little open. This can get a little messy, so be prepared if you're scared of a little squishy feely stuff. Is that even a word? That's about good. I'm trying to like tuck it in. Oh God, I'm starting to lose some. All right, that first one's in, going in the pan. And basically, I guess in a professional settings, you shouldn't lick your fingers, but if you're the one eating it, it's not so bad. I guess the heat will, I don't think it gets a little annoying. That little tuck in sometimes prevents you from feeling it. So I just kind of like trying to rotate it in there and stuff it in there without breaking the shell. And at this point, you can kind of hold it at that tip and give it a little squeeze, and you'll be able to fill up a little bit more. Like that. You don't really need them overfilled, but that's about a perfect one. And I just plop them in there. I'll show you how I stack them. But since I'm doing the whole box, I'm gonna do 2 rows, 2-3 rows. That's how I stack them in there. So I might be able to fit 3 rows. We'll see how many it makes. All right, here we go.
Non più tra I farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno di torno girano, delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto Adolgino d'amor. Delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto Adolgino d'amor. Non più avrai questi bei panacchini, quel cappello leggero galante, quella chioma, quell'aria brillante.
Whew. I'll probably have to time lapse that, put some Italian music in there or something. But let's see how we're looking. I've ran out of room. Lots of stuffed shells in there. I still got some more to go. I'm gonna have to get another little pan. Found a little 9x9. I could probably fit in another 9 to 12 into here. So same thing, just layer sauce, stuff them down, and then I'll show you what to do next. So there you go, they're all looking beautiful. It's made about 40, if my math is correct, 40. So I'm telling you, if you're looking to get married, you're trying to lock down a husband or wife, just make them this. You want to impress potluck at work or get in good with somebody's parents, make this meal. You'll be in there like swimwear. Still had like at least 10 shells left. So the beginning one's pretty dang fat. So you could get away with 50. I would say you can make 50 shells out of this, out of that 2-pound ricotta and that's box of shells. But 40 is still a good number. All right, let's get to the next steps. All right, let's see if I can do an action shot. Really, you just want to just top them. Oops, spilt a little bit. Top them a little bit with the sauce. I might have to bust out another jar of sauce. So I went a little crazy. But you kind of just want the shells covered up a little bit. Have them some moisture on them so they don't dry out. I think I'll get away with just one jar. But if you want it extra saucy, you could bust out another jar and pour it on top. But I think that's looking pretty good. And you almost done. You practically eating now. So this one is just like standard baking. Oven's at 350 and I do about 30 minutes. You can add the cheese on at this point. I do like some shredded mozzarella on top if you want. Personally, I prefer to bake them for about 20 minutes, pull them out, and then I cheese them down. Because sometimes the cheese kind of gets a little plasticky or a little weird if it bakes for too long. So it's just up to you, personal preference. These are going in for about 20 minutes. And then when I pop them out and cheese them up, I'll get back to you. See you then. In the future. All right, let's see if I can do an action shot. A little action shot for you. Ooh, God, I got steamed up. I'm blind, I can't see. That's how they're looking right now. I don't know why, but I never set timers. I suggest you probably set timers. This got away from me a little bit. 25 minutes, but they ain't really getting away from me, I guess. I wanted to get them out at 20. 25 is not bad. So now it's time to cheese them up. Let's see how much this is gonna go. Oh, cheese, open up for me. Open up for me. Open up for me. Shredded, but you can use sliced. You can use any cheese. Well, preferably mozzarella is what I guess traditional. You could do provolone if you wanted, or any cheese. I guess everybody's got free will, you know. But I just do a nice healthy coating. This one's getting maybe, I had 2 bags, 2 8-ounce bags. This one's getting like maybe 4 or 5 ounces. The big boy tray, you get 8 ounces. You could do a pound if you want extra cheesy. There is some cheese in when I made the ricotta, I mixed in some mozzarella cheese. So it just depends how cheesy you like. If you want to go for a pound, do it. I won't stop you. You can't twist my arm. I love getting cheesy wheezy. All right, that's about how they're looking. Pop them in there for about another 10 minutes. And at this point, if you're gonna make you some garlic bread, this is a good time. Butter it down, either shaky with some garlic powder or that crushed stuff in the tube already or the jar. I checked with the fam. They voted against garlic bread at this time. They're like, who votes against garlic bread? But they said the carbs are in the pasta, so I don't know. But I had some for breakfast, maybe some Cuban toast. So I've been sneaky snacking on that all day. So I guess I could live without bread. I still have a piece right here. But it'd be a good time because you already got the oven heated. Just throw it in on another rack. You're good to go. 5, 10 minutes. It depends on how hot you go, you know. You the boss when you the chef. Are you ready for some ooey gooey cheesy goodness? It ain't easy being cheesy. All right, I cheesed them back down. Another 10 minutes or so. We're gonna be living high on the hog. All right, cheesy wheezy time. Just check the clock, 9:16. So this meal took a little while. I hope it's good. Let's get an action shot though. We'll go. Ooh, that steam. It's looking cheesy wheezy to the max. Get that cheesy wheezy out. Don't burn yourself. Whoa! Looking good. Number 2. Ooh. This is some cheesy magnificence. Cheesy wheezy. Oh! Boys and girls, we're getting cheesed up tonight. Looking great. I hope you like your shells stuffed and full of cheese. I have a little parmesan. I like this, the fresh, a little fresh flaky. You can't do the shaky. I did put some of the shaky inside of it, inside of the ricotta already. For the topper, just for make it look a little more classy or a little fancier. I'm gonna put some of this shaved parmesan, kind of crumbling it with my hands a little bit to make it spread a little better. And once that hits down there, it'll Let that hit down in there a little bit and it'll melt. Looking beautiful. I guess that's an optional step with the Parmesan, but I love Parmesan. Everybody here does, so you can like give it to them, like serve it up, and they add their own. But I figured, why the heck not? Try to make it fancy and up, spruce up the joint, fancy it up a little bit, up the class. Well, you're done. We are done. Basically, just need to serve them up. It could be a little hot right now, so got little ones, or you don't want them to burn themselves. Let it cool off for a little bit, but you're good to go. This was a little bit of a long meal. Like I said, there are a lot of steps to it, but once you get into it and you dig in, it's well worth it. So overall, would you try it? Do you make stuffed shells? Do you like Italian food? Let me know in the comments. If you make it a little bit different, if you're gonna try it, I'd love to hear about it. But that's about all I got for you. I'm gonna serve this up. We're gonna dig in. I guess I'll also show it plated up, just for posterior. But anyways, hope you have a great day. Y'all eating something good, chilling out. Today's Saturday for me, so I had some extra time on my hands. That's why I made this meal. All right, guys. See y'all later. Bye. All right, I'm gonna plate it up. See if I could transfer this over here and make it look pretty for the camera. I'm trying to pick up 4 at one time. Let's see if it's a success. Well, pretty good. Oh, there we go. 4 little cheesy wheezy stuffed shells. Let me plop a little bit more of that goodness on there. Oh yeah. There we go. You ready to eat? You are ready to eat.
Woo! Clean plate club, and we had seconds. I'm telling you, go ahead and make it. This is a marry me meal if I've ever seen one.